We're going to talk about AI a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So did you? This is a hot button issue these days. But Jack Posobiec posted this the other day. It says Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, 1950s Super Panavision 70, all made in AI, and he says way better than the original. So I'm clicking on this here to see the full screen one, but we can just watch the smaller version here. It's 1 minute and 7 seconds long. Are you a diehard Star Wars guy?
I'm an enjoyer of Star Wars.
Okay, so
I would 6 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the saga continues with Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Amidst the backdrop of galactic turmoil, the Jedi Knights, guardians of peace and justice, face a new threat that could plunge the galaxy into darkness. Meet Qui-Gon Jinn, a wise and noble Jedi Master, his apprentice, the young and eager Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker, a boy with a destiny that will shape the fate of the galaxy.
Don't
But
like
lurking
AI
in the
Yoda.
shadows is a sinister plot orchestrated by the Sith, led by the menacing Darth Maul, seeking to manipulate galactic events to their advantage. As ancient prophecies unfold and destinies collide, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance as heroes rise and villains reveal their true intentions. Prepare yourself for an epic journey filled with action, adventure, and the timeless struggle between the forces of light and darkness. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, a thrilling chapter in the legendary saga. May the Force be with you.
Thoughts?
Is it better than the original?
I hate AI, but that looks really good.
Okay, you have the humility to admit when it slaps.
I can't not say that it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I just hate AI. I want to see
Yeah.
that movie.
But have somebody actually make the movie.
Make it just like that. That's
Yeah.
great as previs, but now we have to actually make it.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like most people, maybe most of our viewers, have a positive outlook on AI and the way it's gonna infiltrate the movie industry, because
A lot of
obviously
people are hurt by
what they've been
Hollywood's
giving
doing.
us
Yeah.
from human artists is falling short of our expectations, and they think that AI could serve as an alternative to improve the quality of our entertainment. But you've spoken pretty strongly against AI, and
Yeah.
you basically, am I wrong? You think that AI art is not real art?
We have to look at what the definition of art is versus like what's an image or what's an illustration. These are images, moving images on a screen. Mm-hmm. The person who made them, if they call themselves an artist, I would question there's a gray area. There's definitely vision there. There's good execution. It's made well. But I require a human hand to be on see, the word art is so like, I'm so strict about it. Mm-hmm. I need someone to be more present. I'm not typing a prompt in and then it gets filled in by a computer. I see a lot of abuses happening in the future of, like, I use the Shrek example. If you guys have heard about the Shrek DreamWorks or something, there's a company that is behind Shrek. We're saying we're going to cut like 80% of our staff or have 80% of the film be generated by AI, and then we'll have people do like keyframes and really talented people can come in. It's going to cut out a lot of jobs. It's going to prevent a lot of middle to low level artists from gaining necessary experience to become experts. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong. I don't know how much in depth you want me to go into it.
Go for it.
Well, no, it depends on the medium we're talking about. Like in comics, if you told me AI generated a comic book, and these are just images where we took the JPEGs that Midjourney gave us, and we pasted them into panels. In comics, a lot of the art, I would say, needs soul. It needs the hand of a person who has put every one of those scratches on that piece of paper. In my art, there has to be like a communication happening. If I draw a picture that you see, I'm talking to you through the medium of, say, a drawing. I put that graphite down on paper. It's the medium, but really it's my mind talking to your mind, and I'm trying to communicate something to you. There's something, when you use AI to fill in the blanks, obviously it's very hard to make a trailer like this from scratch, and you have to have actors and special effects and stuff. But in the arts, you need humanity, spirit. I have to use abstract words that don't not everyone even agrees that spirit exists, but like I need to know that somebody sweated over a piece of paper or a stylus or something. Someone once used an example of in-betweening in 3D. If I'm animating, say I'm going to have Superman jump, I will keyframe him crouching and then him extended and then have the computer do the in-betweens. Yeah. It's better if you do all the in-betweens yourself by hand, like in traditional animation, say like a Studio Ghibli movie. The reason we value that more is because some poor bastard had to sit there and draw all the in-between frames, but usually you would hand that to an intern or some lower level artist, and the keyframes are done by the experts, the masters. Yeah. But in order to become a master, you have to put in the hours of doing in-between frames. So there's going to be a huge cutoff of like, if there's more AI movies, let's say, the fat cat business people are going to make a ton more money, so they're going to be cheering about that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then a lot of like lower to mid-level artists are just going to quit or start using AI as a shortcut up the mountain. And the problem with that is I argued with somebody, I won't say his name, where he was saying that I'm a artist by type. I did a rudimentary drawing and then I had the AI finish it for me. But what the AI was simulating was essentially 10,000 hours of practice and him basically taking credit for it. And I, someone who spent 20,000 hours, however many hours, learning to draw, am insulted by someone. Like if I'm climbing a mountain, if I'm hiking, and someone takes a helicopter up and says, I'm the same as you, I'm like, not even close, dude. And when you have an industry filled with high level or low level artists who are using a tool like AI to help them, it's like being in a bicycle race, but you're using training wheels. Okay. Now, I've been called elitist. People like me are called elitist because it's, you know, God forbid we actually try and spend years learning something. If you put a piece of paper in my hand, I have a sketchbook in my bag. I always carry it around. Yep. I can draw anything, anytime I want if someone prompts me to do it. But if someone uses AI, they cannot draw anything they want at any time. Now, in a medium like comics, where speed matters, you can't use AI and then just like, if I got Ghost of the Badlands here. I'm talking too much, I'm sorry, but
no, go for it.
If I had an AI generate a bunch of images of like the desert and cowboys and horses and stuff, and then I just traced over them, there's no soul there. Yeah. I'm not communicating anything, and I think that lowers the value of the product. But instead, I went to Arizona myself. I went to the locations where the story is taking place. I rented a car. I sweated my butt off. It was a pain in the butt, but I did it because I think the audience deserves and the art world deserves real art. And some people can complain that I'm using the word real art. This book, you know, represents like a year or a little less than a year of like really hard work, research. I'm really trying. And I think that makes it more intrinsically valuable than if I just had a computer generate a bunch of... Like, I don't know if the end user cares.
I think people would agree it makes it more intrinsically valuable, but they would say the one that has less intrinsic value still qualifies as art. And I think where most of the confusion stems and what you're referring to, it is that most Westerners, at least now, are undecided or completely against the idea that soul exists and has anything to do with human activity.
It's really...
So the output is the only thing that matters. But you're also referring to a valid concern that AI is going to make human artists less competent at what they do.
It has many downsides. Speed, if you're a business person, it can seem like a good idea.
Crisis party!
Thank you.
Hold please. We danced during the crisis party. That was automated, so every $100 we get a crisis party. Thank you guys.
I see.
We didn't just like, I didn't just like trigger that to hold everything off.
Hope you remember your point.
Yes.
What was I saying?
It's okay if you can't remember.
My point to all this, though, is that at the corporate level, when we're talking Hollywood, when we're talking about big budget motion pictures, especially today, with the prevalence of things like these companies buying up IP without real love for the properties that they're owning, that what they're worried about now is get it done fast, get it done
cheap.
Not even cheap, because they're not making
cheap.
movies for cheap anymore.
Definitely not cheap.
Me and you were talking yesterday. I said the reason why the shows on the Sci-Fi Network were so likable is because it was clear they didn't have a lot of money. They said, we're just going to make it. We don't have a lot of money to do it, so we got to find soul elsewhere, whether it's in the character development or all these other things. But Hollywood isn't really looking for soul. They're looking to get it done and put it out there.
There's a contract that has to be written between the creator and the audience. Like, I'll watch old Twilight Zone episodes and buy it because I understand there's a guy in a suit on the wing of an airplane and it looks pretty jank, but I believe it. Because I've agreed with the creators, it's called suspension of disbelief. I'm going to suspend my disbelief. I know I'm watching a TV show, but I'm going to pretend that it's real.
Correct.
Even though I see the Ninja Turtles and there's a guy in an animatronic suit, I'm going to pretend that it's real. But the closer you get to high fidelity, you end up with something called the uncanny valley. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
So the more real it looks, for anyone that doesn't know, the more unsettling it looks in your subconscious. So movies that look too good, you can still feel when it's just a little wrong. And AI can fill in that gap to a certain degree, but that's not where the magic of creativity comes from. I love the Impressionists as artists, but their paintings were slapped together very fast, and it's really just a bunch of colors. But because you fill in the blank with your imagination, we're going to put on our fun time hats. You now, as the audience, become a participant in the art, and that makes it more valuable to you. Yeah. If I'm just sitting there being spoon-fed entertainment, I have less chance of developing a bond with it. That's why a lot of the recent Star Wars movies, it's one of the reasons. Nobody cares about them because there's no soul to them, there's no pain. You can't feel, I'm in that stupid abstract place with art, talking out of my butt.
But you were also talking, you said you watched Rogue One the other day. You watched Rogue One?
It seemed decent to me. It seemed like it really was made with creative intent, despite all the creative interference that happens from the business side of things.
I think that's because Gareth Edwards is an actual artist and he cares.
Yeah,
right?
He really cares, and you can tell. And then Kathleen Kennedy said, no, we can't have that happen again.
Yeah.
And then even I wanted to see the solo that those two guys made, the Lego movie guys, I forget their names, but I wanted to see their version of Solo because it seemed that they were really going to go for the comedy angle. They were going to do something really weird and fun, but then creative business interference always happens. The higher the budget, the more chefs there are in the kitchen.
Yep.
But that's why I like art made by small teams that really matters to them.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.